I'm trying to get into the habit of recording my instructions so that if somebody wants to watch it, they can. You feel? Do you feel? Are you with me? No, no, he left. All right, here we go. List and describe the steps involved in marketing research and discuss the human factors in marketing research. So, terms like market research, exploratory research, desk research, descriptive research, casual research, samples, and price points. Continue to exist, sports and entertainment ventures must make a profit for their investors, owners, and sponsors. They're dependent on the goodwill of the fans. Fans provide funding by participating as viewers, ticket purchasers, and collectors of memorabilia. Catering to fans is what marketing is all about. To do so requires knowledge of the fans, their likes and dislikes, how much disposable income they have, their medium of choice, and how their interests might change in the future. These are questions that must be answered in order to efficiently provide entertainment that will make a profit. Marketing research is used to answer these questions. Steps in marketing research. Univision is the largest television network in the United States that is focused on Spanish language viewers. In advertisements in the Wall Street Journal, Univision quotes statistics about tremendous spending power of Hispanics in the United States. Univision also states that Hispanics are 70% more likely to buy a product advertised in Spanish. In these advertisements, Univision is using AC Nielsen marketing research data collected to show businesses why they should advertise on Univision. When information is gathered that is very specifically focused on a single target market, it is referred to as market research rather than the broader topic, marketing research. Marketing research may involve market research, but it is a process that can be applied to a number of marketing problems. How it's done. Marketing research is a problem-solving tool that helps focus decision making. The process, which must be ongoing, repeated frequently, and revised often, involves 7 steps. Number 1, discover and define the problem. Number 2, analyze current conditions. Number 3, develop the process for data collection. Number 4, collect the data. Number 5, analyze and report the data. Number 6, determine a solution to the problem. And number 7, implement and evaluate the results. So first, discover and define the problem. Albert Einstein is quoted as saying, the formulation of a problem is often more essential than its solution. Marketing research is planned around the need to make a decision that will solve a problem. The research that needs to be conducted is defined by the decision or problem that needs to be resolved. According to William G. Zsigmond, in his book, Exploring Marketing Research, there are 3 degrees of research related to problem definition. Exploratory research is conducted when a business is unaware of the exact problem. For example, fewer people are watching a TV show, but the network does not know why. Exploratory research can include desk research, where reports of other completed research are used to help define the problem. Exploratory research is expected to lead to further research once the problem is defined. Descriptive research is used when the business is aware of the problem that needs to be solved. For example, if a group wants to start a new professional soccer team, it needs to know if there will be a sufficient fan base to support the team. Casual research is used to determine cause and effect relationships when the problem is already clearly defined. For example, if a sports team's marketing department does not know which of which of two team logos and colors will motivate fans to buy more team merchandise, research can help determine the effect of each alternative. Fiddler, are you out there? Drew Fiddler, can you talk to us in number 2 about analyzing current conditions? Excellent. Julian Hatt, are you out there? Can you talk to us about developing the process for data collection? Excellent. When a sports team needs to make a decision, such as how to update team uniforms, it makes sense to ask the fans for their opinions. The most effective way to gather information about current and potential customers is through personal interviews where fans can actually look at samples of the uniforms and merchandise, but it's also a very expensive and slow process. The internet can be a more efficient way to conduct a survey and can include photographs of players wearing the selection of uniforms. Either way, questions must be carefully worded to assure that the answers will be valid and will provide the needed information. Uh, Sydney Green, are you there? Can you talk to us about collecting the data in part 4? Okay, so collecting the data is important, and so often in today's day and age, whether you're on social media, whether it's a Twitter, an Instagram, a Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, a lot of times you have the opportunity to um, complete a survey. And a lot of times those surveys and that data is collected, and it's done on a mass scale. And whether it's the products that you use on a day-to-day basis or the products that you use only once in a while or the services that you use on a day-to-day basis or once in a while, that the collection of that data is important in the marketing research process. Number 5, analyze and report the data. After the responses are electronically complied, the researchers will look for patterns in the data and draw conclusions based on those patterns. For example, the data could reveal that 75% of respondents chose uniform number 2 over uniform number 1. Most research is more complex and may involve thousands of bits of information. Tracking sales of team related merchandise can involve more than just looking at how many t shirts are sold. Sales data may be analyzed at the end of the season or after each game. Important data could include which styles, sizes, and colors sold best and at which price points. Price points are the range of prices charged for a category of merchandise. For example, the t shirts of highest quality and elaborate design may sell for $50, while those of lesser quality and simple design may sell for $10. And there may be a variety of choices in between. Noticing which price points will sell best will provide insight on what customers want and the limits on what they are willing to spend on t-shirt memorabilia. Other factors to consider are how sales are impacted when the team is winning and when it is losing. All of these data can be used to determine what types of merchandise to offer in the future. Do I have Adrian Martinez out there? Adrian, are you there? No, you're not there. Adrian, can you talk to us about sorting thousands of bits of data? Yeah, excellent. A plus right there. Number six, determine a solution to the problem. Based on the conclusions from the data, recommendations will be made to change the current conditions, such as the style of uniforms, the price of the merchandise, or the distribution channels used for merchandise sales. Number seven, implement and evaluate the results. Finally, the company must implement the changes and then determine whether they actually result in an effective solution to the problem. If concerns are uncovered, marketers may need to revisit some steps in the marketing research process. Okay. All right. So there's a lot there. This whole process is extensive. Okay. 7 steps to the market research process, um, or the marketing, steps in the marketing research process. It's extensive. There's a bunch in there. So we've got to go over it. And I'm going to switch gears into the PowerPoint. Let's see here. Ivan Baez, you out there? Adrian Martinez, you can turn your mic off, son. You accidentally left the call, Ivan Baez. 25 push-ups. Ivan Baez, I'm going to need your help with the PowerPoint here in a second. Were you sleeping a little? You're saying that you never sleep in any of your classes. All right. Ivan Baez, can you see my screen? And what does it say at the top? Can you talk to us about the goals or objectives, Ivan? Excellent. Ivan Baez, can you talk to us about the vocabulary terms in this section? Excellent. And there's also price points, and we'll talk about them. Oh, shoot. The steps in the marketing research. Market research is information gathered on a single target market. How it's done, you discover and you define the problem. You analyze current conditions. You develop the process for data collection. You collect the data. You analyze and report the data. You determine a solution to the problem, and you implement and evaluate the results. So these are the 7 steps. Discovering and defining the problem. the exploratory research is conducted when a business is unaware of the exact problem. Okay, why are people not watching a television show? Why are people not buying tickets um, to the games? Why are people not buying merchandise? Okay, there's also desk research, which are reports of other completed research, and they're used to help define the problem. So you can use reports that have already been completed for other things, other issues. Okay. Descriptive research is done when the business is unaware of the problem that needs to be solved. Okay. And causal research determines the cause and effect relationships when the problem is already clearly defined. Okay. The second part is analyzing current conditions. And it can examine sales volume and customer data to understand current conditions. The third step in the marketing research process is develop the process for data collection. Okay? Are you going to observe people purchasing the product, or are you going to conduct a survey? Okay, which one? Then you actually go through and collect the data. Okay, you go through it. You take samples, okay, which are representative subsets of a larger group. Okay. After that, you're going to analyze and report the data. Okay, you're going to look for patterns. Some kinds of data patterns are sought. Okay. Remember, data is very complex. There's a lot of it out there, and it's got to be broken down, and it's got to be managed, and so it can be presented in an applicable format. You want to look at something called price points, which are the ranges of prices charged for a category of merchandise. Obviously, you can spend, 150 or $200 on a television, but you can also spend 5,000 if you want, or more, depending on the size and the clarity and all of the various things that are involved in, using TVs today. You can make them much easier to hook up to game systems and sound systems and whatnot. So there's going to be a range of price points. Graphic representation makes data easier to understand. Charts and graphs can break the data down, such as the one that you see here. Then you're going to determine a solution to the problem. You're going to try to find some conclusions from the data that can lead to recommended changes to the current conditions and implement and evaluate the results. Okay, changes are going to need to be implemented. You have to put systems in to make change. Okay, and effectiveness of the changes need to be evaluated. All right. So there's a difference between market research and marketing research, and we'll look at that and progress through that as we go. Okay. Stop sharing. I'm gonna